Happy New Year! I thought it would make a sound. But anyway, I'm back. It's me, Lucy. Welcome to my channel. It has been a very long time since I've posted. This video is going to be like a little bit of a catch up. You can catch up with me, you can catch up with Tucker. Thor is in a different room, sorry. And I'm gonna do a book haul in the second half of the video that encapsulates all the books that I bought in 2022. First, wanna say nothing bad has happened to me. That nothing happened that made me stop posting or anything like drastic like that. I just stopped posting. I didn't mean to take such a long break. It just kind of happened. But yeah, I do want to clarify that nothing happened. Like I'm fine, like health-wise and everything. I had multiple videos filmed and I needed to edit them, and one was taking me a long time to edit, which hopefully you'll see soon. And I just kind of stopped editing it, kind of stopped reading as much. So that also did happen, which sort of contributed to me not posting as much during the year. But yeah, I just wanted to clarify that because people did check in during the course of the year, which I so appreciate. I'm pretty sure I responded to anyone who messaged me on a different platform or like left a comment or anything asking about where I was. And I'm pretty sure everyone I responded to, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come back soon, and it just never happened. I'm coming back with fresh thoughts, I guess, and ideas and stuff. I did want to not go over, but just notify you all about like channel changes and stuff and like how I'm gonna be coming back. So the first big change, I guess, not really big change, I want to say that you can expect between 1 to 3 videos a month from me. Before, I remember last year, my goal, I think, for the year was 4 to 6 videos a month, or maybe it was just 4, because I remembered I did have a goal of posting less for 2022, which did happen. Not exactly the way I envisioned, but yes, I wanted to post less. And I don't think I can for now go back to attempting 4 videos a month. Like, I think 1 to 3 is gonna be my sweet spot. We'll see what happens, but that leaves me room to post, I guess, more of the like vlog, longer form, reading vlogs kind of videos, and also some other types of videos, which we'll talk about in a second. And I will probably not be doing very many TBRs or wrap-ups. I think there'll be like a few wrap-ups throughout the year, but we'll just see where it takes me. And the only time I might do a TBR, maybe I'll use YouTube Shorts for that, because I do want to start posting YouTube Shorts. I'm sure lots of people are talking about it on BookTube, on YouTube in general. YouTube really wants you to post shorts. So I'm gonna try and give that a shot, see what happens, figure out the kind of content I want to do with those shorts. And maybe I'll end up posting those shorts also on Instagram and revive my Bookstagram. That is still TBD, because, you know, one step at a time, you know, going from not posting at all to posting a lot is definitely not going to be good for me. So I'm not going to be making any promises about what videos exactly I'm going to be posting. Another reason you won't be seeing a lot of end of year content from me is because I really didn't read that much. I think in total I'll have read 20 books for 2022, which will have been my lowest since I've had this channel, maybe ever. There's also no big reason for that. It was really just a coincidence. I don't feel like I was that much busier in 2022 than I was in past years. So yeah, hopefully I can get a little bit back on track with that. I'm thinking like one like long form video and like one short or something, or like, I'm not necessarily counting shorts in that, but it will make me feel better if I do. Yeah, let me know how you feel about YouTube Shorts. Obviously I'll see with the views and stuff, but you know, and if you have any ideas of any of shorts that I could post, because most of my ideas are pretty long form. Also, along with shorts, I will not be making a book talk. There's too many social media platforms. I can't do it. I can't have that many, okay? This is a hobby. The second half of my channel changes, content changing plans or whatever, is knitting podcasts. So on my break, I have found a new hobby. It's not really a new hobby. It's kind of an old hobby that I have refound. It's knitting and now crocheting. Crocheting is the newest part of that, because I used to knit in high school and I was really into it. Unfortunately, Ravelry changed their whole website, so I no longer have access to that Ravelry account I maintained in high school, but I was like into it. I was like all in my queue, and I'm about to be that way again, because now I found that there is a knitting community on YouTube and also Instagram, which I'm deep in. I watch everybody's knitting podcast, which kind of the name of these videos doesn't make a lot of sense, because I guess they're video podcasts, but usually podcasts implies audio first mentality, and these are mostly visual first, like they're YouTube video. I don't know. But yes, I want to start doing them, so that will also count in like my 1 to 3 videos. But that's kind of where my dilemma lies, because I don't plan to post as many knitting podcasts as a lot of people I see do. A lot of people will update every 2 weeks or like once a week even, and I don't foresee myself having enough to update people on about my knitting and now crochet. So this would probably be like once a month max, probably once every 2 or 3 months that I can see like having like a podcast where I have like things to update instead of me just saying things over and over. So because of that, I kind of just want to post it on this channel instead of my second channel that is also defunct. Okay, I don't know what I was thinking, having all these separate social medias that I'm gonna just maintain. For now, I'm going to post knitting videos here, and also for now, it will likely just be knitting podcasts. I know some people do like knit with me kind of videos where they take you along, similar to how BookTube has like reading vlogs where they just kind of take you along their journey as they read a book. In knit with me videos, people will take you along the journey of them knitting a garment of some kind. I don't knit that fast, so I don't know how that would work for me. I may try it, we'll see. Let me know if you're interested, and this is all just a test also to see if I enjoy making knitting content and if my audience over here on BookTube enjoys it as well. And if people really hate it, if like I get tomato emojis commented on every video I post that's knitting related, then I'll probably move it to my other channel that I don't post on anymore. But yeah, this is all just a test. I will reevaluate in 6 months and see where I'm at. Also, to go along with having too many social medias, I am thinking about like also posting like knitting stuff on my Bookstagram account. I thought about making a new Instagram for knitting stuff / crochet stuff. So those are all the channel updates. Wanted to say that I'm fine, alive, you know, gonna be back better than ever, gonna be back. Yeah, and now we can move on to the book haul. I should have suggested this at the beginning of the video, but you should grab a snack, a cup of coffee, some hot chocolate. I love hot chocolate. I've refound my love for hot chocolate. Also, if you're of age, put some amaretto in there. It's real good. Because I want this book haul to also be not exactly a vlog, but I'm gonna take this opportunity to tell you about where I've been. I've had like a good amount of travel opportunities. That sounds weird, that like I was sponsored to travel, but I just went places in 2022. So a lot of these books are from the various places that I went, and so I wanted to like share those events also with you through the book. So I'm gonna try and insert some clips and pictures and stuff when I talk about what I did to acquire these books, and I will do my best to do this in chronological order. Also, there is a cat on my lap, okay? He's super intrigued by life, everything, the pursuit of happiness. So the first 2 books I want to talk about, we have The Energy Clock by Molly Fletcher and Lincoln in the Bardo by George Saunders. Both of these books, I'm talking about them together because I got them from the Little Free Library near my house. I don't remember when I got them from the Little Free Library, but I was so surprised because I walk by that Little Free Library pretty often, and I was surprised to see 2 books that I was sort of interested in. This one I was like actually interested in reading, and then this one I was also interested in reading, but I felt like it called to me because at the time I was kind of having like a rough time, I guess, with like work and life and everything, and I was feeling kind of like I was getting burned out and like I just didn't have the energy to do things basically, and the like subtitle is Break Free of Burnout. So I felt like it was calling to me. I read like a third of it, like not quite half, I think, and I just didn't finish it. I think I will finish it. So Lincoln in the Bardo, this follows President Lincoln's 11-year-old son after he passes away from illness during the Civil War, and we follow him after he dies, and he's like not living in the graveyard because he's dead. It's about ghosts and everything. I'm not explaining this very well. The front dust jacket says, Willie Lincoln finds himself in a strange purgatory where ghosts mingle, gripe, commiserate, quarrel, and enact bizarre acts of penance. Within this transitional state, called in the Tibetan tradition the Bardo, a monumental struggle erupts over young Willie's soul. Sounds really interesting. A booktuber I watched years ago really liked this book, which is why it was on my TBR. Also, it won the Man Booker. Next, we have 2 of the same book. This is Overthinking About You by Allison Raskin, who you may or may not know. She used to be on BuzzFeed a long time ago and then split off with her like writing partner, and they started a YouTube channel called Just Between Us, and that YouTube channel transformed into a podcast, which I've kind of followed them since they've had that YouTube channel. The podcast is fun. I really like hearing Allison's perspective about things. And when I found out she was writing a book on her own, I was really interested in it. And I found out it was about dating, which made me even more interested in it. So I reached out to the publisher to ask if I could have an early copy, because I had this whole video planned around dating and I never did it. I think it's kind of too late to do it because like a week after I read the other book I was reading for that video, I met my boyfriend who I'm now still dating. So it didn't really line up. It was going to be a whole thing about being single and stuff, and I'm no longer single. So yeah, so those videos never happened, never did that deep dive. But the publisher did send me 2 copies, so I was planning to just give this away in the video that I planned for this book, and I never did the video, so I'm going to give it away here. If you want to read this book, which I haven't told you what it's about yet, but if you want this art copy, let me know in the comments down below. You just have to be subscribed to my channel and you have to say you want this book in the comment. But yes, I will tell you what it's about so you can decide if you want. This is part memoir, part self-help book about dating when you have a mental illness. Allison herself deals with OCD, anxiety, and depression, and how your mental illness might affect how you date, how you are in a relationship, and what you can do about it basically. And she interviews people who are like actual therapists and talks with other people who deal with similar issues to her, or people who have different issues to her but still deal with some kind of mental illness. And I found that personally very interesting. I did feel like there were some actionable steps in here, and I enjoyed the memoir side because, like I said, I like Allison Raskin as, I don't want to say as a person because I don't know her, but like as her like media persona that she puts out into the world. I like her and I like hearing her perspective on things, so I really like the memoir part. The only thing I will say about this is that it is definitely more for people who have issues early on in relationships, but it's not really about dating, if that makes sense. Like, you are already in some kind of relationship with someone for most of the scenarios she brings up in this story, and there isn't a whole lot about struggling to date, which was like my issue at the time, or like struggling to find someone to date, you know, or you don't know, but like that was my issue at the time, and I didn't feel like that's really covered it that well. Let me know if you want it. Leave a comment saying I want Overthinking About You. Okay, the next book I have is Tucker. Yeah? Are you done? Can you settle, please? The next book I have is The Way She Feels, My Life on the Borderline in Pictures and Pieces by Courtney Cook. This is a graphic memoir by Courtney Cook about how she lives her life with borderline personality disorder. Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I love a graphic memoir. It's not exactly a graphic memoir. There's text. But there's a lot of pictures, and I thought they were cool. And I was in New York City visiting my family and friends, and me and my friend walked past this cool bookstore that I can't remember the name of, but I'd never seen it. I guess I was never really in that part of the city. But it's on the Lower East Side. Yeah, I don't remember what it's called, but they have like a really big carpeted staircase on the inside and a coffee shop. So if you're in New York City and are familiar with the Lower East Side, maybe you can say where it was in the comments. But yeah, I picked up this book from it. I thought it was cool. Solutions and Other Problems by Ali Brosh. I'm realizing I'm starting to have a theme of like mental health related books. I think the theme is about to be over, but yeah. So that's what it looks like. If you haven't heard of Ali Brosh, she wrote a book that was pretty popular, and she used to have a popular blog called Hyperbole and a Half. Yes, this is her sequel, long-awaited, I guess, sequel kind of to that. This is a graphic memoir. She tells stories from her life with these like funny looking comics, and they're just like a joy to read mostly. I laughed out loud while I was reading this. I'm still halfway through. I haven't finished it for reasons unknown, mostly because I'm in that fake reading slump that I didn't mention. Next, we have 2 books that I got when I went to DragonCon in Atlanta. If you don't know, I do live in Atlanta, so it wasn't a big trip for me or anything, but my boyfriend loves convention and stuff, and he was really excited to go, so I went to DragonCon, and then we both got COVID. So you win some, you lose some. But before I did that, I picked up 2 books from one of the booths. These are both graphic novels. One of them is really me. This is called Cats, Girlfriends and Cat Friends, which I do love. Love that for me, love that for this book. Didn't really even know what it was about. I just saw it was called Cats, and so I bought it. But I can tell you what it's about now. Every day holds new surprises for best friends Manon, Erica, and Camille. After all, they have 3 rambunctious cats to look after. And with even more furry friends being added into the mix, they better prepare for more antics than ever. From toupee snatching on the beach to fun in the kitchen, the cats even compete in a cat show. Join these 3 girls and their pets on their adventures and get ready for some laugh-out-loud, feline-filled fun. So it just seems cute. The art style is kind of interesting. I'm trying to find somewhere. I haven't read it yet because I'm trash. And the second one is called Coming Back by Jussie Zabarsky. And I didn't say who this was by. This is by Frederic Bermad and Paola Antista. I feel real bad for butchering the first last name. So anyway, this is about 2 girls. One of them has magic, which is common in their village, I guess, but she has like the strongest magic of everyone in the village, I guess, and the other one doesn't. And she's worried about being worthy for the one who has magic's love. And something happens that causes the girl who has magic to break their village's like sacred laws, and she's rejected from the only home she's ever known. So it's about them kind of coming back together. I think it's like the love story, it seems like, and it seems like it'll be cute and maybe a little sad. Next, I want to talk about the first like real trip I went on, I guess. I don't consider going to New York like a trip because I've been there so many times and I grew up there. My boyfriend and I went to Tybee Island, which is on the like southeast portion of Georgia, and there's a beach there, and like it's known for being like kind of a beach destination, and it's pretty close to Savannah, Georgia. We ended up going on like a little visit to Savannah while we were there, and we went to a bookstore called E. Shaver Booksellers, and they're known for having cats in their bookstore. So I'm gonna put a bunch of pictures of the cats up. And yeah, it's a really cute bookstore. I really liked it. If you're ever in Savannah, I do recommend it. They're nice there. They have like it seemed to me a good selection. I have the bookmark. I could have shown you this, but yeah, this is the bookmark that they gave me. That is their big thing. That's why I wanted to go. I don't have a problem. You have a problem. Anyway, the first thing I got is not a book you read. It is a notebook, but it has this like lavender on it, and then yellow lavender, I guess. I don't know what that flower is, but it's cute. It's just a little notebook. The next thing I got is a blind date with a book because I don't know, I felt like I wanted one. And this is a Victorian mystery, and yeah, it's a trio of unexpected deaths, social pariah turned detective, slow burn mystery, clever historical details, romance undercurrent, and feminist Sherlock Holmes remix. And I had an idea of what book this was, so I think this is that, oh, damn, I forgot the name of the series, but I think I know what the book is. I'm gonna put the cover of the book that I think it is, and I was planning to do a video around this, sort of. I don't know if I'm gonna do it. I might just open it and read it at some point, but I haven't opened it yet. I might still do the video, we'll see. And then lastly, we have this copy of Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. This is the Chiltern edition, and I had my eye on them because I saw Mara from Books Like Whoa had gotten a bunch of copies from them, and I was actually on the lookout for the Pride and Prejudice edition from them, but it's been sold out for I feel like a year now, so I haven't been able to find it. But they had this in person at the bookstore, so I was like, I'll just buy it. It's really pretty, just like the pattern and everything. I find their editions have like really cool like foiling on the cover, and like these like, I don't want to say repetitive pattern, I don't know what to call it exactly, and then it's foiled on the edges. It's a silver foiling. I don't know how well you can see it. And yeah, those are all the books that I got in Savannah. So I went on another trip after Savannah, a little bit after, and I didn't actually get any books on this trip, but I did go to multiple bookstores because I am the way I am. And so I wanted to show like the little souvenirs I got from the bookstores. So the place I went, the country I went to, was Italy. I went to 3 cities in Italy. I went to Milan, Venice, and Rome. I didn't go to a bookstore in Milan. I think I went to 1 bookstore in Venice, or 2 bookstores in Venice, and 1 in Rome. Did I go to a bookstore? Maybe I didn't go to a bookstore in Rome. I don't remember that well. The first bookstore that I did go to was Libreria Acqua Alta. This is the bookmark they give you. All of Venice is built on the canal. Honestly, I would really recommend going. I wanted to go because I'm very convinced it's not going to exist in 10 years because it's all on canals and stuff. So it's really beautiful city. It's built right on the canal. There's a stop on the boat. You can get off the boat into the bookstore. I didn't do that, so that's like their big thing. And then also, they are also known for having cats because I am uncontrollable. okay? You have a problem, not me. I got 3 postcards. I actually got 4 postcards, and one of them I gave to my sister who didn't come. Yeah, I got 3 postcards just to hang up in my office and like as artwork because I think they're really cool. This one features a cat, and there's like a story I think that they have that it got like flooded. Like a lot of the books are in gondolas. There's like 2 or 3 gondolas, and there's like a lot of boat things in there, and it's just like packed with books. It's also a tourist trap, which is why I didn't get like so many videos or clips from there, but I managed to see every single cat they have and snapped a picture of it. This is the first postcard, and that's kind of like the door outside. Obviously it's a little exaggerated, and then there's a little cat. And then this one was so cute, and I have a picture that goes along with this perfectly. I just thought this one looked cool, and the cats are also in this one, I think. Those are the postcards I got from Libreria Acqua Alta. I didn't get a book there because all the books were in Italian, and I can't read Italian. I don't know Italian, so I didn't feel like it made sense for me to buy books that are in Italian. I went to another bookstore in Venice. I don't have a postcard or anything from Rome, so I guess I didn't go to a bookstore there. I don't know, I really liked Venice. I would definitely go back. Hopefully I can go back. I absolutely recommend it. I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, I went to another bookstore, which this says Barchetta di Carta. I don't know if that's the name of the bookstore or not, but this is a postcard I got there. I went to this bookstore because Google said that they did have English books, but I couldn't find them, so I just got the postcard. And then I got 2 other postcards when we went to visit the Colosseum. So I'm just showing you that this was obviously not a bookstore. These were in the museum gift shop. But yeah, I got this one and this one. One of these I might have gotten for my sister, but I don't remember. So yeah, but Rome was also cool, but I loved Venice. Venice, definitely the highlight of that trip. And then I returned to the good old US of A. And then me and my boyfriend went on a trip, another trip. Yeah, I was really jet setting this year, okay? And we went to New Orleans, which I loved. If you watch whatever knitting podcast I do, I'm going to talk a little bit about it there as well, because I did go to a yarn store. I also went to a yarn store in Italy. But yeah, like I said, I'll talk about it in the knitting podcast. But New Orleans has great used bookstores, or at least in the French Quarter or near the French Quarter where we were. We stopped in, I want to say 3 or 4, and one of them was unplanned. We just passed it. And my boyfriend knows me, and he was like, do you want to go in? And I was like, yes. And we browsed in this nice little bookstore with this like nice older man. But yeah, I don't remember specifically which bookstore I got which book, but these were all like, I think probably under $10, and they're all like great quality. Yeah, so first book I got was Piranesi by Savannah. I think this got a lot of hype around the bookternet a little bit ago when it came out, and it sounds really interesting. This is about a man named Piranesi who lives in a house, can't leave the house. He's just like stuck exploring it. It's kind of a labyrinth maze type thing. And there's someone else in the house called the Other who visits Piranesi and asks for help with research into a great and secret knowledge. But as Piranesi does like this research and stuff, he kind of realizes things may not be what they seem. Yeah, it follows him while he deals with that. And it sounds really interesting. I've heard good things, like I said. So next I got Lake Lore by Anna Marie McElmore. I just couldn't believe I found this in a random used bookstore, so I bought it. I've read their first book, and I've read a bunch of their short stories that were featured in various anthologies, which I really loved. So I just figured, like, I'm going to start an A.M. McElmore collection, even though I haven't read this. But I think this is their latest release, or it was their latest release when I bought it, or maybe it was released. Maybe it's the second latest release, I'm not sure. This is a YA book that takes place near a lake, and everyone who lives near the lake knows about the stories, about like kind of what's under it. And we follow our 2 main characters who are the only people who have like experienced it and know what exactly is going on. And then something happens where the world under the lake starts to come up and like spill out of it, and so they're trying to stop it, and they have to work together to do that. The only issue is that they have stopped talking to each other for the past 7 years. Heads of the Colored People by Nafissa Thompson Spires. This is a short story collection that deals with race, identity politics, and the contemporary middle class, according to the back cover. So I've heard good things about it. I think, once again, many years ago, Mercedes from Mercy's Bookish Musings recommended it, and so I saw it at the bookstore and I was like, yeah, let's give it a shot. And lastly, City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert. Once again, saw it at the bookstore. This follows Vivian Morris, who is now 89 years old, and telling the story of after she was kicked out of Vassar College when she was 19 years old because she had low grades, and her parents sent her to live in Manhattan with her aunt, who owned a flamboyant, crumbling playhouse. And this is a story about how meeting all the people that worked at that playhouse impacted her life, and then while she was there, she ended up making a personal mistake that turned into a professional one, and that impacted the rest of her life. And it sounds really interesting, and yes, so I picked it up. We'll see if I read it. So yes, those are all the things I wanted to share with you all in this video. Thor has decided now is a good time to eat, so sorry about that sound. And I think that's all I have to say. Stay tuned for the next video. Please let me know in the comments down below anything you want to let me know. I appreciate anyone who comes back to my channel after me being gone so long. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye!